and he hit just 2 in the next 40. Wound up with a 220 batting average. But here's what happened. In the off season, sometimes I like, and sometimes I believe some of these off season things make some sense. He spent 3 days in California with somebody whose name we've mentioned in the we mentioned before, Craig Wallenbrock. He's a 73-year-old consultant. So he started his private coaching in the 70s. He's worked with Ryan Braun, J.D. Martinez, and all that stuff. So to Wallenbach, no matter what the diagnosis of a player's swing is when they first get there, he changes it and he searches for consistency. So Cisco was a second-round pick in the 2013 MLB draft. I'm just telling you, he had an opposite home field home run in the MLB All-Star Futures game, if you remember, 2016. But he just hit 1 the entire season to that point at Double-A. And then he hit 320 with an 820 OPS. But then his power just went away. Hitting to the opposite field is still his strength. And Cisco is in a unique position. He's got over 700 AAA plate appearances. That's a large enough body of work. So Wallenbach has made a couple of changes, and you know how I feel about that. Anytime a player makes changes in his swing, his pitches, or anything, and it shows that it's working, you almost have to pay attention. So pay attention to Chance Cisco, one of the guys you got to watch in the spring, because if his offense really starts to work out, then you just don't know. I mean, it could work out, and he could be an interesting end game pick. Ryan Mountcastle, by the way, spent the day working with outfielders in left field. They want to get him exposed that he's not going to play third base, so it'll be interesting to see if Mountcastle could work in left field in the rotation with maybe Anthony Santander and Dwight Smith. Mountcastle is somebody that we're all just waiting to see. And like Trey Mancini before him, he'll probably get plenty of work in spring training. They really want him to be something. And by the way, Richie Martin, who spent time in 2019 playing shortstop, apparently has lost his job. He's been working out at second base to make himself more versatile. I'll tell you somebody else, in addition to Mountcastle, as a youngster that I'm looking at, and it's got to be Nate Pearson. Nate Pearson for Toronto is going to be very interesting. He's a specimen. And he was blowing them away at the Futures game. He was actually pitching very well when we saw him, the whole thing. So Nate Pearson, his velocity is certainly eye-catching. But look, he's got plenty of opportunity in the spring to do something. He was 3-0 with an 0.86 ERA, which sent him up to New Hampshire, okay, where he hit a 2.59 over 16 starts, and that earned him a season-ending trip to Buffalo, where he had a 3.0 ERA in 3 starts. So really, this kid is going to be pretty good. There's a new leadoff man in Boston. Anybody know who he is? A new leadoff man in Boston. And before we get there, just let me once again say good morning to you all. Kenny Flamia has joined us. Good morning, and don't forget tonight at 7, the debut of a brand new show. Okay, brand new. So don't forget, Michael Magid is here, the caller from Sirius Radio. Thank you, Michael. Okay, tremendous. Okay, tremendous. Galen Cisco is not Chance Cisco's father. All right. Anybody find out if Frank Thomas ever won a batting title? I'm going to have to check that out on my own. I don't want to check it out on my own. Yeah, Frank Thomas won a batting title in 1997. So, I'm going to have to say that is wrong, the information that I got. Thank you for saving me. I thought it was Luke Appling. That's what I was told. All right, anyway, moving right along. Andrew Benintendi. Okay, he started last season batting leadoff. He hit 256 with a 355 on-base percentage. When he was the first overall batter in the game, this is what got him out of the leadoff spot. He was 5 for 42 with 5 walks. So, some are talking about Alex Verdugo, but we're really talking about Benintendi getting a real shot to bat leadoff. So his RBI total will be down, but you can count on maybe 15 stolen bases from Benintendi. And by the way, Chris Bryant says he still expects, I agree, he expects to be with the Cubs on opening day. So he had a meeting with Theo Epstein, and Bryant believes the trade speculation is about to subside. So we're still waiting for Bryant, we're still waiting for Arenado, and we're still waiting for Lindor. And that's all we got to talk about, okay? Nick Pivetta is going to start the opener for the Phillies against the Tigers. If you remember last year, he was a very popular sleeper pick. All right, but he had very strong peripherals, but his 2019 was a disaster. He was demoted to the minors and then demoted to the bullpen. He had a 5.38 ERA, but the Phillies really didn't make any additions to their shaky rotation, so Pivetta enters camp once again with a chance to start, and he's competing with Vince Velasquez for the final spot in the rotation. Now keep in mind, highly ranked prospect Spencer Howard, he's got a bad knee, and at some point he will take the final spot, okay? He will take the final spot. Jordan Yamamoto is scheduled to start the Marlins season opener against the Mets. He's 23 years old. He's going to get an early opportunity to secure a back-end spot in the Miami opening day rotation. He had a solid rookie season. He posted a 4.46 around slightly less than 80 games. His main focus is going to be improving his control, and he struggled pretty bad with his control. He issued at least 3 walks in his final 3 starts. He ended up with an 11% walk rate. Okay? 11% walk rate. Now, one of the players that we've been talking about for years, and remember, he came up as a he came up and he was being comped as Jose Altuve. Franklin Barreto. Boy, oh boy, he got some playing time last year. Franklin Barreto. Anybody think that Franklin Barreto is going to make his mark? Remember, when he came up, he was being comped as Jose Altuve. Well, maybe only because he looked like him. I don't know if they ever comped him saying that he plays like him, okay? He's got a tremendous opportunity to get a major league roster spot, okay? If he is the type of spring that he had before, it's going to be tough not to have him part of that lineup. I'll tell you that right now. So hasn't done well in his career. He's got like a 190 batting average, 69 plate appearances. But when look, they get rid of Jed Lowry, they get rid of Jurickson Profar. They must think that this kid has something. 23 years old, will do something. Okay, so he has proven he's capable of making a good impression. He's got Jorge Mateo, Sheldon Neuse, I saw, or Nice, all ready to try to play some second base. Mateo could be interesting, but I do think that Barreto is going to get every opportunity to play second base. Now, Gregory Polanco said he's healthy. He's healthy. He returned ahead of schedule from shoulder surgery, but he hadn't really recovered. Trying to force it. So, if he's recovered, there's a decent chance that he could I drafted him in our auction draft. If he's recovered, there's a decent chance he could return. He's 28. He batted .250-something with 23 home runs and 12 stolen bases in 130 games in 2018. So keep in mind, he's a good late-round outfielder to pick up. And here's another great round outfielder to pick up, who I love, and Kevin Kiermaier. Wow, if he could just stay healthy, he's 29. Are you kidding me? You know he's going to steal double-digit bases and he'll double-digit home runs, even in a partial season. He made some changes to his stance. He's made some changes to his swing. If he could only make some changes to his health. He's been consistently driving the ball to the opposite field. So Kiermaier is a multi-time Gold Glover, okay? He's got a .249 career batting average, and he was really working very hard with a coach from another major league team on body positioning and controlling the batter's box. I will tell you, I really believe that Kiermaier has a chance to be a star fantasy player this season. Now, with Anthony Rendon out of the lineup, Robles in Washington is going to get a look at the top of the Washington batting order, okay? Now, that means that Trey Turner and maybe Adam Eaton will end up sliding down to the bottom of the order. But it could open up, they could open up at bats for Victor Robles to hit first or second, where his speed could make an unbelievable impact. He's 22 years old. This guy stole what? 28 out of 37 stolen bases, scored 86 runs, despite spending most of his time in the bottom third of the order. So he's got to improve his plate discipline. He only walked less than 6% of the time. So this could be a very interesting situation. Dave Martinez is expected to give Trey Turner a shot at number 3. So, look, and while the Nationals brought up Eric Thames and Starlin Castro to help offset the departure of Anthony Rendon, neither player profiles as the adequate replacement. Turner can't match Rendon's power, but his bat-to-ball skills make him the best internal candidate to offer protection for Juan Soto. So, okay. He may lose some stolen bases, but he'll still get you 25 to 30. And also, remember, this kid Berthe could see significant action to steal some bases. He's 30 years old, and he got his first extended stint in the majors, and he hit .273. So it's 17 steals and 20 attempts in only 73 games. Makes him a sleeper. Berthe, Andrea's guy. Okay? Starlin Castro, of course, the Nationals have a bunch of moving parts, but Castro is going to be second base regular. Carter Kieboom will be tested at third. Howie Kendrick will be the utility guy, and that's the way they go. Okay? So, there you have it. That's the situation with, boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, that's the situation in Washington. And based upon this, and I heard a podcast this morning with the fellow saying that he thought, of course, made it sound like something new, that Trey Turner, batting third, is going to lose a little stolen bases, but he will recapture some RBIs. That may be more important than stolen bases. Don't forget, when you fall behind in RBIs, it's very hard to expect an RBI guy to get called up to the major leagues, okay? Very hard. But, and absolutely Lou Landers has joined us. There you go. So it's very hard to expect anybody to get called up. And King Hap is here. Don't forget, tonight at 7 o'clock, King Hap will start it off. King Hap and Taco. It's going to be great. 7 o'clock. Robles will bat. They want him to bat leadoff. and they want Eaton to bat second, and they want Turner to bat third. Okay, so they want Robles, but he's got a